Hello, here's part 7 of my garden railway. Okay, tonight I've been working on parts of the track. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this is going to look. So, if you remember right, there's part of a bridge, okay, and this is the bridge that I'm using. This bridge then connects to this part of the track. This is a base plate, and as you can see on the track, there is a straight on and there's a corner, okay, and this is called a set of points. Okay, so the trains can come down here, join onto this track, and this is the only single piece of track that is going to be on my railway layout. So that connects into there like that, okay, like so, and that's that piece here. The next part I'm going to show you, as you can see, I put the sleepers on here, but I'm going to put ballast. I'm going to put wee dots in between all this to make it look like ballast. And this here is what I've done tonight. Okay, so as you can see, it looks a bit more realistic. Now I was actually going to cut this here and have it actually, you know, in two separate parts, but I've decided against that. What I've decided to do is to leave it there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put grassy bits and things like that, bushes and everything in between the tracks that you would normally see in train tracks anyway. Alright, now the part over here, I'm now fighting with myself. Am I going to put a platform on here and put a bridge? So yeah, so I'm now at that stage. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but not worrying about that just now. The main point is I wanted to get this done, and this piece of track then joins onto that piece of track like so. So as you can see, okay, that's how it's going to look, and all the track that I'm making will be on a baseboard and have ballast like this between it all to make it look like a proper train. Sorry, a proper layout, a proper train track. Right, and that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. There'll also be buildings, because you see that on the train, on railways as well. There's wee buildings and that at the side and things like that. There'll also be things like that. Now, the track is developed even further, because when I first started doing this, I was going to be doing a single track with a loop, set of points, and then the train going back on the track and then carrying on and then into the next one that had another loop and then a set of points and back onto the track. Well, that all changed and it became a double track. The only single bit of track that I have now is the bit where the bridge is at. Okay, that's all the single part of track I have. I was then thinking a bit further on that I don't have any sidings, so I can't park any trains anywhere. I've got to park them on the track, and I didn't like that idea. So the way the track's run is just now, I can actually run two trains at once. The only thing is I need to stop at the bridge to allow one train to go on before the next train can continue on as well. So there'll be a crossover. So I've now decided, it's developed even further, that I'm going to put a couple of sidings on as well and put trains on there. So theoretically I can have 4 trains on the track now, 2 of them running at once and 2 of them parked. So the train track, the layout has now developed even further. So this whole thing about putting a platform across the other side of the station is going to have to wait just now until I suss this out. But I think that's the way this is going to go, that I'm going to put another platform on this part here at the other side of the train track and cross it with a bridge. Now, to confuse things even further, okay, I have 2 sets of lights, okay, and I'm going to need more than that, but lucky enough I ordered more, and here they're here. Now the thing with these lights is that they're not branded, and that's just the way life goes, okay, but they do have a setting on them that you can actually have them on green for go, red for stop, or automatic, where it'll change between the red and green. Okay, so that's my plan. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that to allow me to run it like a proper layout. Okay, because this is an L gauge layout. Okay, L gauge. Okay, which is wider than the 00. Is it wider than Garden? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure. But it's 6 studs. It's a 6 stud track. That's what they call it, a 6 stud track. Which means there's 1 there, that's classed as the first one. Then there's 2, then there's 3, then there's 4, then there's 5, and then there's the next piece of track, and that's 6. But the whole thing is 8 studs wide, and it's 16 studs long. Okay, and on one of these, I can get 4 pieces of those track on. So that then becomes one whole section of track. Because in the winter, I'm thinking, I don't want that sitting out in the winter time because it's just going to freeze, ice, block. Oh, it's going to be terrible. So my plan is in the winter is to dismantle the track and take the track. And as you can see, it's not going to take very much room. So that's my plan, to dismantle it, to put it away in one of my sheds, because I have several of them, and I'm going to dedicate one of my sheds that's already been dedicated to my Lego. I'm going to actually dedicate it to my tracks as well. So I'm going to get some decent boxes, bubble wrap in between, and drop each one down and then stack it up. So that's the plan for the winter. So that's where we are today. So I'm hoping the next couple of weeks I'm going to keep working on this, and I'm going to keep working hard to get the trains and to get the track and everything sorted. So in the next couple of weeks I can actually be running trains. As a matter of fact, as you can see there, there's some of the trains there, some of the trains there, some of the trains there. That's Harry Potter on the very top shelf. That's Diagon Alley, and there's some more Harry Potter down there and there. But that's trains and more trains that I'm going to be running. I've also discovered more trains in my shed, which I knew about. Some of them I knew about, but some of them I forgot about. I've got trains there that haven't even been built along with some of the coaches. So I've got them to build as well. So I've even got more trains than I thought I had. So yeah, so this is turning into quite a massive project. And next year, I've actually come up with an idea for next year, which I'm not going to tell you about. Okay, I'm going to keep it a surprise for next year. And if everything comes round, it's train orientated. If everything comes round, we'll see something really, really different. All right. So listen, great chatting to you. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch this. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye for now.